you came into this season and I didn't necessarily expect a comedy queen, but you have been so consistently funny
Thank
throughout,
you.
and you kill me. Especially your narration. I just every time you get a laugh.
Thank you.
Did you know you were that hilarious going into this, or is this like watching
Um,
back, you're like, wow?
I think I like to believe that I am like a very confused person on the inside, and people like confusion, and they really like confused people. So, but I try my best every single day to just be myself, and I like to think that naturally I'm a funny person. Sometimes when I'm trying to write out things, as we've seen on the show, it's not always the funniest, but I just think that like same way like Heidi, I think that some people just have a very natural, effervescent like personality and charm and funniness to them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it does. It comes super naturally for you, and this whole idea of confusion is great. And obviously, we see you really use that to your advantage in the political debate challenge. But was there a certain point in the season where you kind of like honed in on that and you realized like I can use this to my advantage? Maybe it was that challenge, but
I think particularly was that challenge. And what was so crazy is because I had like a list of things that I wanted to talk about. I had this amazing platform, or so I thought, and then I was like, you know what? I looked down and I'm like, I'm confused. And usually, what works best for me is like I'm very good at like reading the room. Okay, and so I was like, if I just say what I'm thinking right now, and people always usually laugh, that's what I'm gonna do. And then when I saw that like it worked, I was like, oh, okay, well now I know just be myself and just still make it very as political as possible, but still be myself and just talk about what's going on in politics today.
yeah, of course. I mean,
It's a hard balance.
it is, but it was genius, and obviously, look over there is gonna just stand the test of time. But my other favorite moment from that was when you get asked a question and you just ask the question to Heidi instead, which was so funny. Uh,
Thank you.
you're,
I mean, I think, like I said, like I think it speaks about like politics today is like if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna deflect it and I'll give it to somebody else, and I just will not answer. That's usually like that's what we see now in politics. Like I won't answer the question if I don't want to. Somebody else will handle it, and if you're looking for an answer, you may never get it.
yeah, I
But
mean,
vote for me.
right. It's kind of a dark reality, but perfect
Yeah.
satire. You made it funny.
Thank you.
So I want to, we're going into the finale, and I think for everyone that makes it this far, there's always so much talk of scorecards and your arc of
Yeah.
the season. Looking back, would you be able to pinpoint a specific episode or challenge that really like defined your story on this season?
I think, which is so funny, I think that kind of in the way I think it was in the first episode, because we had to do so much. Like from right from the jump, we had to do choreography. And now people say, don't say you're not good at choreography, but dancing and choreography are two completely different things. Like you could be in the club dancing and shaking it off and turning it. And then when they ask you on the stage in the choreo, it's a completely different story. But we had to sing, which is not something that I'm particularly good at. But it also showed that no matter what situation I'm in, I can rise to the occasion and make it work.
Yeah, you definitely proved that early on. I mean, I think everyone was pretty blown away by you right from the get-go.
Thank
So,
you.
and then the looks like just never stopped coming. Case in point, what you're wearing right now is
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
It like almost barely fits in the full frame. It's that gorgeous
Thank you.
and
I was literally, I said, I'm the essence of beauty, but the essence of the universe is love. And I've been feeling so much love. So I want to try to like express that through fashion, like very artsy.
of course, yeah, yeah. So something I'm curious about, and like I have such sympathy for you guys because this season with the quarantine and everything has been unlike any other. It's been so wild, and I wondered like, do you have a sense of the way having to watch it from home has changed the way you view the season or your performance, or even just the way you interact with fans?
I for sure, I don't think that it would change the way that I watch the show because I've always been the type of person when I perform, I get so cringy watching it back and I'm like so judgmental of myself. So I'm like, I would rather just not look back at it than that way I won't have to like feel weird about it. I don't know. But I think for sure, I can't speak for everyone because I don't know how all the other members of RuPaul's Drag Race have interacted with fans before when they've never been in this particular situation. But for me, I feel like we have such a personal touch with the people who support us now, and I think that is because of what's going on in the world right now. Usually, they can come out to the bar and see you and and tip you and give you money and then carry on about the day. But now, because we don't have a way to connect with them in that kind of way, we have to make it a little bit more personal. And I'm all about it because I've always been the type of queen where I've always liked to like make personal connection with people. And so I'm glad that like I get to actually do that. And I've never also been good with social media at all, but now I've been doing like lives and like tweets and getting lost in DMs. So I've been trying to do it, trying to turn it.
Another episode I wanted to call out specifically for you was the makeover challenge. I mean, that is one where that I felt like we were really seeing the real you. You were such a caring, you were so caring and loving to all of them.
I feel like I've been through so much in my life, and I think that either you can let the things that you've been through in life hurt you, or they can help you. And I think that instead of being upset about the things that I've been through, I think I can take the things that I've experienced and the things that have hurt me and relate to people in a way that they can connect with, and then they can understand that they're not alone in that. And I think that it's really important for us always to know that whatever we're going through in life, we really are not alone. And there's so many people who experience the same feelings. They lose people, they find joy, they have people who reject them in life, and we have to know that we connect on that same level.
Shifting gears, you know, we're about to go into the finale, and I wonder what's your take on what would a Jaida Essence Hall win represent? What does that mean?
I say this all the time, but I think that a win for me would be a win for so many people, and not trying to be political, but I see so many people who like inbox me or they like message me, or then they just say that they go through so many similar things that I've been through in my life. And I think that for me, coming from like a horrible ghetto area, not finishing high school, so many things in my life that told me I would not be successful, and told me that success is you will be working a regular job. You will never be able to make dreams happen for you and come true. And I've done it. And I just want to let people know, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what circumstances you have in life, you can be successful and you can be your own successful. You don't have to be a textbook version of what that is.
There's so many great guest judges this season, but was there one that really stood out to you? Maybe they were the funniest or they gave the best advice? Like, what guest judge stands out?
Oh, okay. I say Whoopi was really good, but Jeff Goldblum was so crazy and funny because like usually I've seen like skits and stuff about him. And then when I saw, I was like, it's really him. He is really this person. And I loved it. He reminds me of myself.
That's so funny. Yeah, you guys have a similar confusion tactic, I think.
Yeah, very. And he saw something in me. You know, we were both lost together.
Is there anything, thinking back on the season, is there anything that you felt like you had wished you had, whether a piece of a garment or a wig, or even just like mentally, do you wish you had going into this season?
I think that I wish going into the season I had been a little bit more confident in myself in some areas. I know that it's good to be confident and be really strong, but sometimes you can drop the ball. But I mean, that's life. Mm-hmm. That's all of us. We all go through that.
Yeah, definitely. Is there right? Is there a specific piece of like workroom feedback or even on the runway that you wish you had incorporated more or like taken to heart?
When Whoopi talked to me, she gave me some advice, but in the moment it did not click to me. And she gave me advice about the story changing. And she said the story can change. And if I had been thinking about it, I was so set on telling my story in the comedy challenge the way that I knew the story to be. And if I would have paid attention, she was basically telling me the same way that the story moved for me in the political challenge, that it can morph and be whatever you want it to be. People don't know what the story is, but make it funny. And if I would have listened to that and thought about it more clearly, it could have been a different outcome, or maybe I would have still peed all over the stage and just been horrible. So.
Look, I thought it was a funny story, so
Thank you. And it was real life. Oh my God, my friend called me, was like, oh my God, was this at Metroplex? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you have friends that were like, I was there.
Yes, it was crazy.